Lesson 24, Section 2. This presentation will talk about irregular comparisons, that is, comparison using adjectives that are formed irregularly in the comparative and superlative degrees. In English, several common adjectives are irregular in the comparative and superlative degrees. We're going to take a look first at a regular adjective like wise. We see wise, wiser, wisest. This is pretty standard for an adjective in English. However, we do have irregular adjectives, or adjectives that are irregular in the comparative and superlative, like good. So the positive degree, good, comparative, better, superlative, best. There's no way of guessing what these forms are going to be working from that positive degree, good. The comparative and superlative differ so much from it. Bad is another example. Bad, worse, worst. Here again we see very common words tend to have radically different forms when they're used differently. Just the more we use a word, the more it seems to vary in form. We see the same thing in Greek. So for instance, agathos, good. In the comparative degree, we see amenon, and in the superlative, aristas. Irregular comparative forms, in that center column there, are usually declined like elpron, which we looked at in the previous grammar presentation. So let's take a look at it. This is the declension of elpron, which we looked at. Same forms for the masculine and feminine, slightly different forms for the neuter. We're going to remove our stem, as usual, and substitute for it the stem of amenon, amenon, genitive amenonos. This is the comparative degree of agathos. This means better. So we're going to substitute amen in the place of this other stem, and we get these forms. And that's all there is to it. There are no differences in endings normally. There are, however, a couple alternative endings we might see. And we're going to see another possible form in the singular accusative, masculine, feminine, and the plural, nominative and accusative for the neuter, amena, with that long last vowel there. We're also going to see an alternate form for the plural, nominative, and accusative for masculine and feminine forms, amenus. Again, these are, we see some ambiguity here. If you look at amena, it could be either singular accusative or plural nominative and accusative neuter. Anyway, you'll have to keep track of these. So these are the forms, along with the alternate forms of an irregular comparative adjective like ameno. For the relevant page in your grammar book, you can take a look at page 36. Third declension adjectives like mesdon, that's the one that they use for it. And for further reading on irregular comparisons, take a look at page 43. I would encourage you to get a sense of the breadth of these irregular comparisons, how often we might encounter them. Thank you very much.